Hey friends, Floyd Furnbeem here, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about vaccines and how they work. Don't start in about mansplaining and all that. I know that's offensive to women, so instead what I'm going to do is I'll Floyd-splain, and that should be equally offensive to men and women. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't going to offend nobody. Anyhow, way back when I was a schoolboy, a teacher went out on maternity leave one year, and we had a substitute teacher come into school, and he knew an awful lot about science. So he was our substitute teacher for a good, I think 3 or 4 months while teacher was out. Turns out she had triplets, 2 boys and a girl. But when they got home from the hospital with the babies, she had 1 boy and 2 girls. But that's a story for another day. Anyhow, the fella that we had for a substitute teacher, his name was Mr. Watson Crick, and he knowed all sorts of things about science. I always wanted to name a stream after him so we could call it Watson Crick. Anyhow, he taught us all sorts of sciencey things like how vaccines work, and I'm going to try and teach you some of what he taught me. So what a vaccine does, it protects us from all the nasty germs that might come and attack our body. And I think you probably all knew that already. What a vaccine does, it gives our body like a heads up so that when we do get attacked by these nasty germs, your body ain't blindsided. Let's take, for example, the flu vaccine. Now that's made with what's called an attenuated virus. And that means a virus that looks like a regular living flu virus, but it's really weak or even dead. Let me bring it closer to home. Suppose you're sitting on your porch stoop there and you're just, sipping a sweet tea and nibbling on a vanilla wafer, and some cute little fuzzy critter comes walking up to you and you say, "Oh, here, little fella, maybe have a little bite of my vanilla wafer." And then all of a sudden, he just attacks you, and that cute little fella rips like your face off. Turns out that cute little fella was a honey badger, and they are nasty, bloodthirsty little beasts. But you didn't know no better, because you never seen a honey badger before, and it ain't your fault. You're busy and you don't get out much. So this is how a vaccine would work in that situation. One day a friend of yours, he comes over and he's got like a poor little furry cute little creature dead, in his arms. And you say, "Oh, what happened to that poor little thing?" And you start getting all misty-eyed about its unfortunate demise. And your friend, he says, "That ain't no poor little thing. That there's a honey badger. They're nasty, man. That little critter will take down a grizzly bear, 3 jackals, and your nasty Aunt Karen without a second thought." Now you've been immunized, so to speak, and you know what to do and what to expect. So now let's go back to where we was before. You're sitting on your front porch stoop there, and you're sipping your sweet tea and nibbling on a vanilla wafer. And what do you see coming up to the house? Something you recognize, because a friend of yours showed it to you already. Because you've been immunized, and you recognize it as a honey badger. And now, instead of trying to give it a vanilla wafer and losing your upper lip and both nostrils, you're yelling to the wife, "Martha Jane, grab the shotgun, not the 410, bring the 12 gauge because we're going to need it." And that's how vaccines work. You ain't fooled by a surprise virus attack, because your body's already seen the nasty little virus. So when the virus finally comes, your body can right away put in the first string defense. Well, I have rambled on long enough. Have a blessed day. And remember, the best offense is a good defense. So stack your team with big linebackers and a bruiser of a nose guard.